Good afternoon, YouTube Nation. This is Ronnie J. Cole II with eXp Realty, and I'm bringing you part 3 of our 3-part series on budgeting, money, and real estate. So we're going to discuss part 3, which is on building wealth and real estate. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. I'm so happy that you guys decided to come back and stick around for part 3 of our 3-part series on budgeting, money, and real estate. If you missed parts 1 and 2 on budgeting and money, you can click this link here above and that'll take you back to part 1, which was on budgeting, and then you can progress through that video and go to part 2. My first point. Many of you may not like what I'm about to say, but I feel like it is so important, and that's hard work. In order to build wealth for you and your family, you're going to have to work hard, extremely hard. It's not something where you just magically snap your finger and then all of a sudden, poof, money comes out of nowhere. I've got 1 million debit cards and I'm able to go and spend wherever I want to. That's not how this works. It's a journey. And there are hundreds of stories of millionaires and billionaires who actually started from nothing and grew to have these fantastic empires. I mean, I'll give you a few examples. There's Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban was actually the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. He started out as a door-to-door garbage bag salesman. Bet you didn't know that fact. There's Chris Gardner. Will Smith actually portrayed Chris Gardner in the movie Pursuit of Happiness. He was homeless before he became a successful stockbroker. Wow. You also have Janice Bryant Howard. She's the founder and CEO of Act One Group. She moved from North Carolina to California with $1,500. And she started a company now that brings in revenues of over $1 billion a year. Lastly, there's a man by the name of Do-Wong Chang. He moved to America from Seoul, Korea with nothing. He came here and worked 3 jobs because he wanted to start a business. Can you guess what that business was that he started? I'll tell you. It's Forever 21. So there are several ways in which you can build wealth for you and your family. But the number one way is you have to work hard in whatever you do. Folks, there are several ways to build wealth through real estate. I'm going to give you 3 of those today. Number 1, purchase a home. Purchase your own home. That's actually your first step in building wealth through real estate. You want to purchase your home, and when you purchase it if you have to get a loan, which I'm pretty sure 99 or 90% of us do. Get a 15-year fixed rate mortgage. Now I know. Why wouldn't I do a 30-year mortgage? Well, if you get a 15-year fixed rate mortgage, think about you're going to pay off your home 15 years faster than if you had a 30-year mortgage. Now I know your payments may be smaller with a 30-year note, and you actually may be able to afford a much larger house using a 30-year mortgage note. But if you think about the amount of interest that comes with that bigger house, if you think about just what you'll have to, the amount of time, I guess is what I'm trying to say, that you'll have to put into paying on this mortgage every single month for 30 years. Anything can happen. Anything can go wrong in 30 years. I mean, we all are getting older each and every day. You're aging. Your parents are aging. The world is crazy right now. I mean, there could be anything that could happen. So if I can lessen that amount of time to cut down on risk, why wouldn't I? And even if I can't afford this huge 4,000 square foot home, why don't I live within my means? And also on top of that, in regards to purchasing a home, if you're going to make a payment, only make a payment using 25% of your take home pay. So if you make $4,000 a month and you bring that home, what you bring to the bottom line, you should only use 1,000 of those dollars to pay your mortgage. Yeah, to pay your mortgage. But what happens is that keeps you from being house poor. So own your own home. Now, another great part about owning your home is this magical thing called appreciation. Appreciation happens over time. And basically what happens during appreciation, let's say you purchase a home in an area that's growing. It may be a new build. Let's say you purchase that home for $200,000. Let's say that area continues to build and they start putting in a Starbucks and they start putting in a Dunkin' Donuts. And oh my gosh, if they start putting in a Whole Foods, you'll probably see those property values go through the roof. So that's appreciation. When things start building up around your home, you may have paid one price, i.e., again, that $200,000. But let's say because of the appreciation of the neighborhood, what's being placed around you, that brings your home prices or your home value to, let's say, $250,000. And that's just based on if you have new homes that start building in your neighborhood, the value on those homes are going to be higher, which will then help your home. Yeah, you get where I'm coming from. It'll help to raise the price and the value of your home. So appreciation is a magic thing. Now, as we move on to step 2, which is rental. Wait a minute. Let me give you this disclaimer. Before you move on to my second step, which is purchasing rental properties, my tip, this is just my tip. You don't have to follow me, but this is my tip. Pay off your home mortgage. Pay off the home that you live in. Pay off that mortgage. Your primary residence, pay off that mortgage first before you decide to jump into real estate investing. Now, there are several different ways to invest in real estate. One of them is to use leverage. But what ultimately happens is Murphy, you familiar with Murphy's Law? Murphy steps in and decides, oh, well, you're going to lose your job today. Say you're carrying 2 mortgages and you lose your job. Say you're carrying 2 mortgages and COVID-19 hits and you're not able to make the payments on both of those. So pay off your home first. The second way to build wealth through real estate is purchasing a rental property. Rental properties are really awesome because they can provide a positive cash flow for you. What do I mean by positive cash flow? Let's say you decide to purchase your own rental property. You purchase that particular property for, let's say, $200,000 a month. Let's say your mortgage is $1,000. What you can then do, depending on the market, your area, your neighborhood, is you can rent that property out for, let's say, $2,000. Now, don't quote me on that because that varies from city to city and state to state. But you can rent that property out for example purposes for $2,000 and you will make $1,000 in positive cash flow. Now, remember, in order to get that positive cash flow, you're not just paying the mortgage. Remember, you're paying the mortgage. That's taxes that you have to cover. You have to also cover insurance on the home. Whether you have pest control, termite bonds, things that you have to pay for annually and also monthly, you need to make sure that you're rolling into the cost of that so that you don't think that you're coming out ahead and you're really coming out behind or negative cash flow when the whole deal is done. But again, rental properties are really cool because of the positive cash flow that you can receive. And also, the other thing with rental properties is, for the most part, if you get great tenants, it's low maintenance. You can pretty much set your tenants up. Your tenants send you a check. You can also get a property management company to run your company or run the rental property. That way you don't even really have to have, any type of hands-on. But you do need to have 3 to 6 months of expenses available. Your rental property is just like your home. Any given day, the AC could go out. Any given day, the plumbing could break. And because you're now a landlord, you have to fix it. So if somebody calls you at 4 a.m. saying that the plumbing is all of a sudden spilling out water all over the place, guess who has to get it fixed? That's right, you do. Rental properties are a really great resource for additional cash flow. So that's my second way. Oh yeah, what I forgot to mention about rental properties. Because it's more so, this is your business by you renting out homes and renting them out to folks, you can account for depreciation. Depreciation is actually not a bad thing at all for a rental property. What happens is the government gives you a certain percentage that you can write off every single year in terms of the income that's generated on that asset. So that's another great tip or another great tool to having a rental property, because what does it do? It decreases your taxable income. The depreciation does. So quick disclaimer number 2 for today. I am not a CPA. I am not a financial advisor. I am not a CFA. So please make sure you seek out your own professional tax advisor for any questions regarding taxes in your state. Thank you. Now on to number 3, house flipping. HGTV going wild, baby. People buy these properties below market value. They go in and then they renovate them. They fix the kitchens and the bathrooms. And I'm sure you've seen all these shows, Fix or Flop and Fix and Flop and all these other, shows that they have out now on HGTV, buying and selling, all that crap. That's pretty much what they're doing. Now, you can get into a bit of trouble with real estate and investing, period. Let me tell you this. You can get into trouble regardless, because in investing, there's always something called risk. Risk, folks. Risk. Anything could happen. The market could go up. The market could go down. Let's say in flipping a house, 1 week, your comps could be $350,000, which is what you priced your home off of that you're currently renovating. And then the very next month, before you finished your flip, prices in the neighborhood all of a sudden fall to $300,000. So where you were thinking you were maybe going to get $65,000 in terms of profits, now all of a sudden maybe cut to 10 or 15. So that's really one thing to consider in the fix and flip game. The quicker you purchase the property, the quicker you rehab the property, and the quicker you sell the property, that's all the more faster you'll get additional monies into your pocket, which again helps build wealth for you and your family. Now remember, folks, with all of these different things, you will pay capital gains tax. When you sell an investment property, after owning it, whether for a short period of time or even for a year, you're going to pay some sort of capital gains tax on the profit that you make on these homes. That's just something that I want you guys to be aware of. I will let you do the research on that because it varies and I don't want to give you wrong information. So these are actually just a few ways that real estate can build wealth for you and your family. Now, there are other investment strategies in which you can do in the real estate game. You have what you call REITs, which are real estate investment trusts, and you also have what you call REIGs, which are real estate investment groups. These two are more so of a hands-off approach, but they're all in the real estate arena. And with the trusts and the groups, they can be in rental income or rental properties, or they can go into commercial real estate as well. Basically, guys, I just wanted to bring your attention of what you can do. Now, we started from part 1 with budgeting. We moved on to part 2 with how to use your money. And now we're finishing up part 3 with building wealth and using it, building wealth through real estate. Now, these things can change your life, but we got to start at part 1. We got to budget first. And as we matriculate through life, we'll get to the point. We'll all get there. I know we will. So just keep trying, keep trucking along. If you have questions about purchasing a home, purchasing a property, feel free to reach out to me. If you have questions about purchasing an investment property, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to kind of give you more information on our local market or the market here in Georgia and Atlanta area. And thanks so much for you guys subscribing. Thanks so much for you guys liking the page. Remember, hit the notification bell. And once you hit that notification bell, you'll get emails and information when I release new videos. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me today. And I look forward to bringing you more content and more videos on building wealth, on buying and selling real estate. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.